Have you ever wondered what secrets the Alaskan wilderness holds? Picture this: a hunting party, a band of seasoned trackers and rugged outdoorsmen venturing into the heart of the wild. Their mission? To hunt a legendary moose, a creature of myth and folklore that had roamed the remote territory for years, eluding hunters and becoming the stuff of campfire stories. Their journey began with the hum of a floatplane engine echoing through the frigid air, the scent of pine heavy and comforting. The plane skimmed the surface of the glacial waters, its pontoons carving ripples in the icy expanse. As they disembarked and set up camp, the enormity of their mission began to set in. Undeterred, they huddled around the campfire, their excitement fueled by the tales of the monstrous moose that was their quarry. And so, as the sun dipped below the snow-capped peaks, their campfire cast long shadows, and the distant howls of wolves played a haunting lullaby. It was on the second night that the forest came alive with an eerie symphony of rustling leaves and snapping twigs. The Alaskan wilderness, once a silent canvas of white and green, seemed to awaken around us. Shadows danced in the flickering campfire light, their movements seemingly independent of the towering pines. The rustle of leaves and the occasional snap of a twig were the only sounds breaking the otherwise haunting silence. Our seasoned trackers, rugged and unyielding, exchanged knowing glances. Their faces, illuminated by the campfire, told tales of a wilderness that held more than just game. I dismissed the unease as a city dweller's unfamiliarity with the nocturnal stirrings of the wild, but the seasoned hunters knew better. They had heard the whispers of the forest, the rustling leaves, the snapping twigs, the far-off howls carried by the wind. They knew that the forest was more than just a backdrop. It was a living, breathing entity, and we were the outsiders. As dawn broke on the third day, our excitement had been replaced by a growing sense of frustration. The legendary moose, the one that had lured us into this vast wilderness, remained elusive. The vast snow-covered landscape seemed to have swallowed it up, leaving us with nothing but our own reflections in the icy terrain. The third night arrived with a chill that cut through our layered clothing, seeping into our bones. As we huddled around the dying embers of our campfire, a sound echoed through the darkness. A guttural growl, primal and raw, reverberated through the silent forest. The sound chilled me to the bone, a chilling reminder of our vulnerability in this untamed territory. The seasoned hunters claimed it was a bear, a part of the wilderness that we had stepped into, but deep down, a primal fear gnawed at the edges of my consciousness, a fear that knew that this was no ordinary wilderness and we were not alone. A guttural growl echoed through the darkness, chilling me to the bone. The others claimed it was a bear, but the primal fear gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. With a newfound determination, we ventured deeper into the territory, our rifles at the ready. The Alaskan wild, once our playground, had turned into an enigma, a living entity with its own will. The crunching snow under our boots had turned into an eerie silence, the unseen eyes of the wilderness tracking our every move. The air was thick with anticipation as we pushed forward, our hearts pounding in rhythm with the whispers of the forest. Then, the wilderness revealed its crown jewel, the legendary moose standing in a clearing, its antlers reaching skywards. It was a sight to behold, a testament to the untamed beauty of the Alaskan wild. Our hearts filled with exhilaration. The long, arduous journey had been worth it. The rifles crackled to life, the sound echoing through the stillness. But as the first gunshot rang out, the forest retaliated. The shadows morphed into terrifying figures, humanoid creatures with eyes that gleamed in the moonlight. Sasquatches, the stuff of legends, emerged from the trees surrounding us. The exhilaration of the hunt was replaced by a primal fear. The legendary moose, our prized catch, was forgotten, swallowed by the chaos. Confusion and terror spread through our ranks as the realization dawned. We were the prey, not the hunters. Our bullets found no mark as the Sasquatches moved with an agility that belied their size. The moose carcass, the symbol of our triumph, was snatched away, disappearing into the darkness as silently as it had appeared. The hunters, once the masters of the wilderness, were now the hunted. The balance had shifted, the tables had turned. We were intruders, trespassing on sacred grounds, disturbing the harmony of the wild. The Sasquatches, the guardians of the wilderness, had sent a clear message. Panic seized the hunters as they realized they were the ones being hunted. The Alaskan wilderness, once inviting, had shown its true colors, a reminder of the untamed, relentless force of nature. A primal instinct took over as we fired at the encroaching creatures, but the Sasquatches moved with an otherworldly agility. The forest was a blur of motion and chaos, our bullets whizzing through the air, seeming to only graze these towering figures. They were not deterred, their emerald eyes glowing in the moonlight, a silent testament to their dominance over the wilderness. Our prized moose, the legendary creature that had led us into this bizarre confrontation, was quickly forgotten. Its huge carcass was effortlessly hoisted by one of the Sasquatches, and with a swift, powerful stride, it disappeared into the shadows, leaving us in stunned silence. We were left with no choice but to retreat, our bravado replaced by a chilling fear. Each crunching step away from the clearing felt like a victory, a second chance snatched from the jaws of these mythical beasts. As we retreated, the Sasquatches melted back into the shadows, a bone-chilling realization sinking in. The stolen moose was a warning, a testament to the creatures that ruled the vast, unforgiving landscape of the Alaskan wilderness. With the dawn came a sobering clarity. We were the intruders, not the Sasquatches. The wilderness was their sanctuary, their kingdom, a realm where they were the predators and we, the prey. Our pursuit of the legendary moose had been a fool's errand, a reckless invasion into a world we barely understood. The eerie symphony of the forest, the shadows that moved independently of the trees, the guttural growls that had chilled us to the bone. They were all signs, messages from the wilderness itself, warning us of our transgression. We had disregarded these signs, driven by our quest and blinded by our arrogance. As we flew back to civilization, we left behind a part of us in the wilderness, a newfound respect for the wild and its rightful inhabitants etched into our hearts.